So when you read as much shonen manga as I do, you kind of get a little bit bored with the types of series that are out there. They all sort of follow the same kind of tropes, characters, the designs, and the overall arching themes of the story are roughly the same. But every now and then, a series comes along that really breaks the mold of what a shonen series can be. So today I'd like to talk about one particular series that totally changed my preconceptions of shonen series altogether, and that is A Silent Voice. I actually found A Silent Voice a while back. When I used to read a lot of manga online, I used to read scanned in volumes because I was really poor and I was at university, and it seemed really interesting to me because in amongst all of the Narutos, the Bleach, the One Piece, the Dragon Ball, and everything else that you kind of see all the time, it really stood out as something that I definitely hadn't seen a lot of, at least in my narrow sort of field of vision when I was searching on the internet. It follows the story of a boy named Shoya, who's a bully at school, and he's been bullying a girl called Shoko, who is deaf. So a lot happens in their youth between the two characters, and then the story kind of jumps forward in time to what's become of them in adolescence and how they kind of deal with what happened in their childhood and all the repercussions that it's had for both of them in later life. So I actually watched the anime film first, and I think the anime film is absolutely fantastic. If you haven't seen it, you should definitely check it out, and it does a really good job of adapting the source material, in my opinion. So if you've actually watched my recent manga haul video, I picked up the entire box set of A Silent Voice. I got it for really cheap on Amazon, and I've actually been binge reading the hell out of it for the last week. So I just finished the last volume last night, so what better place than YouTube to let you guys know what I think of the series as a whole. Let's start, as always, with the art style. So when you read A Silent Voice, you wouldn't actually think that it's a shonen series, but if you do a little bit of research, you'll actually find out that it was published in a weekly shonen magazine. I think that's run by Kodansha, who also now release the volumes, like the collected volumes. But yeah, I was really surprised because it sort of feels like a very shoujo kind of setting. It's in a school, but it's kind of like a drama. There's a bit of a romance element in there as well. In terms of the art, the character designs are quite cutesy, and I definitely didn't see it being a shonen manga, and that's not a bad thing. So as a whole, when you look at the art style of A Silent Voice, it definitely feels kind of more of a shoujo for boys, and that's a really good thing. Maybe it's going to get some more people to read more of a diverse selection of manga. I definitely read a wide range of manga, not just exclusively shonen and seinen. I like to dip my toes into all different types of manga and really see what I like, and I'm more bothered about the story as a whole than the key demographic that it's aimed at. So in terms of the character designs, I think they're all really creative. I think there's quite a wide range of characters, and the author does a really good job of really showing their personalities in their expressions. I think that there's sometimes a tendency, at least in shoujo-esque type manga, for a lot of the characters to sort of blend into one. The character designs can be quite samey, and they all seem to kind of merge into one collective person. But I think when you read A Silent Voice, you'll definitely see what I'm talking about. There are some similarities, definitely in terms of the female characters, but I think that the author does such a fantastic job at really showing their emotions through their mannerisms and their personalities that's definitely something that I'm not used to seeing a whole lot of in these types of manga. So next I want to talk about the story of A Silent Voice, and I think that it's actually a really, really important story that I haven't seen before, and I think it kind of gets overlooked when you think of how many manga series and anime series are set in schools. They involve like school life, and I know that for young teens in Japan especially, school life is a huge part of their life. It's really important, and there's quite an extensive amount of pressure that's put on students in Japan. I think that when you factor in the fact that there are so many series that are set in schools, I'm surprised to say that I've never seen anything that deals with bullying quite in the way that A Silent Voice does. That's really what kind of is the main aspect of A Silent Voice. It's all about bullying, it's all about the repercussions of bullying and how this can really affect you, whether you are a bullied person or the person who is the bully. I think that A Silent Voice is truly a testament to how good a series can be if it really kind of delves into a very realistic storyline. Like, things don't always have to be superpowers, superheroes, crazy fights and battles and catastrophe. I think that I enjoyed this so much, like maybe perhaps so much more than some of the stuff that I'm used to reading. And there was nothing kind of major that happened. It was more of a drama. It was like a real kind of insight into these people's lives, and you become really attached to the characters. And I think that just shows how good the author is. I think another really important thing to mention is how A Silent Voice really deals with the topic of ignorance. So the characters all have a relationship with Shoko, be it good or bad, based on her hearing disability. And I think that I've definitely never seen any topic like this covered in manga before. The author definitely doesn't shy away from some negative comments about disability and how Shoko herself feels like a burden upon all of the other students because of her disability, because of the things that happened in her childhood. She feels solely responsible. And it also does really well at not just focusing on the main protagonists. So it would be really easy to just be the bully and the person being bullied and just focus on them. It actually has quite a lot of side characters, and all of them are fantastic. Like, I literally loved every single one. I think they all got really great development throughout the story. And they all sort of interlinked in really well together. They weren't just there for the sake of it. There wasn't just like a best friend there for the sake of it. There wasn't just another kid from the school for the sake of it. They all had their own reasonings for the way they felt. And I think the author just did a really, really good job at kind of giving everyone's perspective on the topic. And yeah, definitely not shying away from some more difficult and touchy subjects. So although with Manga Wars I've been scoring series, I think that definitely with these reviews that I'm doing, I don't want to give a series a score. I think that ultimately you're going to have to make your own mind up for yourself, whether it's worth your time. So I'm going to obviously give you my opinion. I'm going to tell you what I think is good about it, maybe what's not so good about it. But if it sounds like something that you want to read, you should just read it yourself. You don't need me to tell you that it's a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10. And if it sounds like it's something that's not your sort of thing, then just be okay with that. That's fine. We don't all need to give something a score. But I'll definitely say that whether you like it or not, A Silent Voice is 100% worth your time. It's a really worthwhile story. It's really something that we don't see a whole lot of, and I think that it's just vastly important. I think that the message that it's providing is hugely important. And with it only being 7 volumes long, like, what have you got to lose? You can get it really cheap in a box set on Amazon, or maybe you could find it a bit cheaper on eBay. And you can just read it within. It took me like 3 or 4 days to read the whole thing, and that's me taking my time and working around, work and other things. You've not really got anything to lose, and you definitely will not regret picking this series up. So thanks so much for watching, whether you're new to the channel or whether you've been watching my videos from the very beginning. All your support means so much to me. I've got so much more up and coming. I've got reviews, I've got recommendations, I've got more manga hauls. I literally just bought so much stuff, so expect a huge manga haul next month sometime. I've got more Manga Wars, so thank you to everyone who joined in the polls on Twitter for the next Manga Wars. And if you missed that, then you should definitely keep an eye on that. Follow me on Twitter, because I'm always trying to engage with you guys. I'm always trying to involve you in the stuff that I'm putting out, because it's not just for me, it's for you as well. So hopefully we can create something together that we're all going to enjoy. So yeah, thank you so much. The channel's just been going up and up, and it's been going crazy. Thank you for all your support, and I will catch you next time.